It's the Wait a Minute Show.
Bruh. Ain't that right, Lopan? Wait a minute. Book it. Really? Really?
The Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jolani J.B. Bodie.
What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, it is your man, Jelani J.B. Bodie, and this is the Wait a Minute Show. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's a sports podcast. So if you're here for sports, you're in the right place. So we're going to be talking a bunch of sports topics, trending that's been going on. We got a major sale in the NBA that I'm going to get into. Saquon Barkley, contract talks. Not going, quite the way that he wants it, but we'll touch base on that. And I'm going to talk about Ja Morant. Got to talk about Ja Morant. That came down. But before we do any of that, first, I got to introduce my co-host, Lopan, who's in the building.
Indeed.
What's up, Lopan? So he is here, and he is here to assist me to get me through all of this sports talk.
Indeed.
Yeah, chill out, Lopan. So, like, subscribe, turn on those notifications if you haven't already to the YouTube channel. Man, follow your boy. So every time something pops up, you can pop in and check it out. Now that that's all said and done, let's get to it. I got to be respectful before I get to the Ja thing, right? We got a new champion. We got a new NBA champion, ladies and gentlemen. The Denver Nuggets on this past Monday took care of business. I thought it was going to go 6 games, but they took care of it in 5. They beat the Miami Heat to win the NBA championship, which is their first NBA championship in franchise history. So that is something to be said. That is a great accomplishment, for the Denver Nuggets. So, Lopan, let's be respectful. Go ahead, give him the applause. Give him the applause, Lopan. Give him the applause. See, this guy is already on. He's already on weekend mode. He need to chill out, get to work, finish it up, and then get back to weekend mode. But props to the Denver Nuggets for real though. They take this thing and they had throughout the season. Denver had been in the top seeding. They won the West as far as like the number 1 seed, and they took care of business all throughout. So I'm not surprised that they won. Did I have them winning? Did I have them in the finals? No. I was slipping on them just a little bit. I think like a lot of people were, but we got to see in the playoffs that this was a complete team. They had everything, all the ingredients that you need. You got a really good coach in Mike Malone. You have an MVP in Jokic. You got a superstar in Jamal Murray, who was the truth before his injury. It's just he's finally, he was finally healthy. So where this thing really, I think, came to fruition was they got Michael Porter for the whole season because he had back problems coming into the league. They got Aaron Gordon in a trade, which was, now people are going to be like, how is that possible that they got Aaron Gordon for a bag of chips?
Indeed.
Yeah. So you got pieces like that. You added the Brown brothers and so forth. So they have a really good nucleus to this team. I didn't mention Jeff Green. I left out, a bunch of people. Caldwell Pope, got to mention Caldwell Pope. This is his second championship because he won one with the Lakers. So they have a great nucleus. And the guys play together. They believe in each other. And this is normally how it happens. You kind of don't see it. It's not like it's not put together like we saw with Miami with LeBron and, and so forth, or with Boston when they put KG along with Ray Allen and Paul Pierce together. We didn't see it like that to where we could be like, you know what? Everybody look out. They did it basically the old-fashioned way. They drafted, they got pieces, they traded, and now they're on the scene. They're on the scene. And I at this point, I have to say, I do believe that the Denver Nuggets have taken over as far as like the kings of the West. right? Everything is going to go through, regardless. It was going to go through, in my opinion, when you're the champs, you got to go through you, because that's what I was saying about Golden State going into this past season that they just finished up. So you got to go through Denver. You got to go up to Denver, pun intended, mile high, to beat them. But they got a lot of pieces in there, and this is normally how it plays out. Normally, a team will have maybe like some hiccups that they run through in the playoffs, and then they put it all together and they make a run. But I think Denver has an opportunity. I'm not just going to pin them in. I'm going to pencil them in. But I think they got a real opportunity to be the problem of the West. You still got a bunch of teams that's going to be looking to improve. You got Memphis, which that's kind of on hold now with the Ja stuff. To me, what will the Lakers do? What will the Clippers do? What will the Mavs do? What will Phoenix do? What will the list goes on and on and on. Can Golden State rebound? Will Sacramento take the next step in their evolution? So that could be a problem. But the West is going to be stacked. But right now the Nuggets, they got the formula, they got the juice, they got everything in place that they need. Seems like everybody's going to be coming back. I don't think they're really going to have a problem with any type of contract disputes, to my knowledge. So we're going to be talking about the Denver Nuggets. They're going to be in primetime games, and they've proved it and they've earned it. So going forward, hey, congratulations again to the Denver Nuggets and what they did. They showed that this is why we are what we are. I'm trying to think, I do believe there's still teams in the East that could pose a problem for the Nuggets. I'm not just really ready to just say, what, next 4 or 5 years, it's just going to be the Nuggets. I do believe, Milwaukee will be back. What will Boston do? With new coach in Philadelphia, will that, make any trends? Will that make any moves? Will Cleveland get better? Will New York get better? Lots of question marks. But Denver has the best question mark it is. Can we win again next year? That's the question that you want to have. Can we win again? And that means you won the previous year, right, Lopan?
Indeed.
Yes, right. So again, props to the Denver Nuggets, on that. Let's move on. Yep. Ja Morant. I knew this was, Adam Silver said after the finals that he was going to make this announcement for the suspension. I knew it was more than likely going to be on Friday in respect to the Denver Nuggets because their parade was on Thursday. So, yeah, you want to pay respect to the champs, man. Let them have their day, and then we'll move on amicably, as one person once said in a movie, and get this thing popping. So 25 games that they gave Ja Morant, right? The NBA Players Association, they're already wanting to appeal this, saying it's excessive and really not needed, and all the stuff that they're asking for Ja to do. They just think this is too much, and 25 games is too much. So they're going to try and step in, try and get it reduced. I'm not surprised by that. Not surprised by that at all. You have to, that's what you expect your players union and players association and everything to do, to come in and argue for me. That's why you're paying all that money anyway. So I'm not surprised that they're doing that. I'm not surprised that he got 25 games. I thought it was going to be anywhere between 20 and 25. So, and 25 was the max that I thought he would get. So 25 games is what he got. And here's why I don't have a problem with the 25 games, right? We're talking about as far as the context of and the timeline in which everything happened. The first time that you got suspended, you got 8 games, right? Which I thought was a pretty weird number, but however way that they came up with that number, normally, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, they go in, fives or, twos, well, maybe not necessarily twos, but 5s or 10s, right? So 8 games, I was just like, oh, okay, why don't they just round that up to 10? But whatever. You got 8 games. You came out, you admitted your fault. You admitted your mistake. You said that, hey, I'm going to do better. Trust me. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I apologize. You did all of that stuff. And then 2 months later, you follow it up with the same thing that you said you were not going to do. So this is not, for me, this is not like Ja did, he had one, incident. And then let's say, 9, 10, 12 months later, he has a totally separate type of incident. Not the same infraction or anything. He has a totally separate infraction that he has that they say, you know what? We're going to suspend you again. I think if it was something like that, then he got 8 games the first time. Maybe he gets 10 or he gets 15, for the next one. But looking at it, it is they just told you, hey, you can't do this. You can't do this. And you understood and you said, I understand that. I get it. I can't do that, man. This is not a good look for me, right? And then 2 months later, you do it again. Now it's like, they're looking at it as like, yo, this guy hasn't learned his lesson because he can't even get through the rest of the year. Or he doing something else different. So I think that's really how they're looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it. But at the end of the day, like, plenty of people have said this, and I'm one of the people as well, is that most of the people are cheering. There are people that's going to, cheer for his failure. I'm not one of those people. Everybody is cheering for him to, overcome this and get on the other side of this and be able to throw it, in the back burner and just be like, yeah, that's something I did, but I overcame that. But when you yourself, like, put yourself in that situation, nobody put you in that situation. Nobody caught you, out doing something. And it was simple. That's the other thing. It was simple. It was, don't have a firearm online, on social media. The NBA cannot tell you not to have a firearm. They can't say, if you got a permit for it and all that stuff, that's fine. That's your business. That's totally your business. They're saying, don't brandish it. Don't show it on social media. That's it. That's it. Literally everything that happened in that video, you could have done. Only thing that was missing from it that you needed to remove was don't go live. Don't go live. Don't record it. Don't record it. Sit in the car with your homie, listen to your music, whatever, and all that. That's still dangerous, because if the gun had went off or something like that, but it didn't. So we're talking about what we saw. That's all I'm talking about, what we saw. You could have literally did that same thing, and the only difference that you had was not to go live, or not, put the phone. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna bounce on the music, and we're gonna do all of this and everything. Take the phone, put it down, leave it there, get your vibe on. After you finish listening to your music or whatever, get back to whatever it is you were doing.
Indeed.
Exactly, Lopan. So that's why my personal opinion, that's why I believe Ja got the 25 games, because it was so simple to just keep yourself out of the news for the wrong reasons, and the optics of it looks is like, just like, what, I don't care, I don't care, right? So this is, it's 25 games. Obviously, that's going to cost him, a lot of money. The other side of that too now is that what does Memphis do for those first 25 games, right? Because you're missing your superstar. This is the team that everyone was expecting to start going up the level, going up the ladder in the West, right? So maybe that probably definitely takes a step back. And then if they struggle and they got a horrible record, they're gonna be looking at Ja. They're gonna be, if you were here, if you just did what you said you were gonna do the first time, we wouldn't be in this situation, right? So this impacts, Memphis. More importantly, it impacts Ja himself, because it's more about getting him right than anything. But now when you come back, who's really, you run the risk of of who's really going to believe that they can trust you. Can we depend on you? We're 25 games into the season. How do we play? What system do we run? Do we get, someone in free agency just to fill in, a spot? Do we end up running the offense through somebody else primarily? Do we run it through Triple J? Do we run it through Bane? Do we run it through, whoever else, that's on this team that they may pick up in the draft, free agency, or whatever? So it's a lot of stuff that, pieces that fall into this that, from this suspension, on it. So I'll say this at the end of the day, and I've said this before, especially with this show. We joke around a lot, but we never, ever, ever wish for the downfall of someone or the failure of someone. So we're never going to do that, right? So we definitely wish and hope Ja figures this thing out, gets it all together, because it's not about, at the end of the day, it's not about basketball. It's not about basketball. It's about, life, right? And some things just are not worth it in life. You may feel a way like, man, I should be able to do this. I should be able to do that. Right. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it totally worth it though? Does it have that much value? So I'm hoping that this is, again, I hope this is the last time that we're going to be talking about this. And the only thing that we're talking about is him in the playoffs with his team, and then whatever it is, that he's doing positive off the court as well. But at the end of the day, I think that's why he got the 25 games. The 25 games was because you just did the same thing 2 months ago. So you at this point, you say he hasn't learned this lesson. So, and then going forward, I think the other reason I'll end it on this is that those 25 games is just really the NFL, the NBA was going to fight this. The Players Association was going to fight this. If it stays at 25, now it's like, I can't do anything like this again because they're going to double it. It's going to be 50 games. You can't have that. So you got to have something in place if you're the NBA to just say, look, we can't go around just giving people, small amount of games or anything, because then somebody else may try it or somebody else may, fight it. So that's why I think it was the 25 games. Previous situation that he had, and then how fast it happened after that. It was just 2 months later, and we're talking about the same thing. So that's it. But Ja, man, go ahead, make that change, bro, and do what it is that you need to do, man. And get back and get all this stuff behind you. North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina. The Charlotte Hornets. It has become official, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Air Jordan.
Indeed.
Yes. Has decided to sell the Hornets and move on from them and go and do something else. I don't know what it is. And the whole reason we're really talking about this is because it's Michael Jordan, right? It's because it's Michael Jordan and he's selling this franchise. So good thing, bad thing? I think both. Well, no, I think good thing regardless. Not good and bad. Here's the good thing, right? And when I was listening to bad, when I was saying bad, I mean not bad, but was it the greatest tenure for Michael Jordan? And that's where I think that was bad or not that good. So I'll get to that in just a second. But Michael Jordan came in, and look, everybody got excited because Michael Jordan came home, bought, an NBA franchise. We knew he was going to get an NBA franchise, and having Michael Jordan as one of the owners is definitely you don't lose anything by adding Michael Jordan as an owner. So the NBA benefited from this. Charlotte benefited, from this. Michael Jordan has benefited from this because what he paid for the Hornets, he's going to get more for the Hornets now. So as far as like business wise, the business part of running the Hornets, yes, he's going to walk away there with definitely, a profit. Let's just say that, right? A profit.
Indeed.
Yeah, a little bit. He got a little extra change. Now, people are going to put this on Michael Jordan's record and just say, oh, the franchise didn't do well. Oh, he owned them for 13 years. They only made the playoff 2 years. Yeah, in that aspect, it didn't work out. It wasn't the greatest. But there's other franchises that's out there that hasn't been in the playoffs the past 13 years. I think my Pistons maybe have been in the playoff once, since that time. Maybe, just a handful. Okay, Lopan, you don't need to agree with me on that. All right, just let me say it and then move on. We don't have to talk about the lows of my Pistons. But I'm saying there's other franchises in the past 13 years that haven't had great success. So it's not like it's just all on Michael Jordan, like everybody else is just, doing it. But he did it. He tried it. It didn't work. Here's the other great part about it. He sells the team. If another team becomes available down the road and Michael Jordan want to come back, you think the NBA or somebody's going to say, no? No. He can always come back. That's the great part, about his situation as well. I truly do believe he could come back at a later date if he wants to. And nobody is going to have a problem with that, especially if he takes over some, and it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, like if he took over the Lakers or something like that, like everybody would go crazy. That's not going to happen, but I'm just saying there's some franchises out there. What if he took over New York and James Dolan finally, New York fans have been wanting him to sell the team for decades at this point. If he finally sold it and he sold it to Michael Jordan, like, yes, that would be magnifico, right? That probably won't, there's a chance. It's a chance. But yeah, Michael Jordan can come back. But as far as the success, look, somebody else is going to come in there. I think, with every franchise, it's just like, how did it work out? And it's not just Michael Jordan's fault. It's not like Michael Jordan was coaching. It's not like Michael Jordan was picking all the players. He was, making all the trades. So, now granted, they had to, go through him about it, or talk with him about it. But there's still other, situations. So now this breeds a new chapter in the Hornets. They'll come in with a new group. They'll have probably new coach, new GM, and all that, and then they'll start from scratch and see if they can change this. But it was great for the NBA. Like I said, it was great for Michael Jordan. It wasn't like Michael Jordan went out there and played himself, and suited up. He probably did on a couple of occasions. But as far as like records and everything, yeah, it's not gonna look, too hot when it comes to the records. But Charlotte's gonna get a new owner or new ownership group. Everything will be all right. They're not leaving. That's a good thing. They're gonna stay in Charlotte. What else we got? The Warriors, Golden State Warriors, right? So the Golden State Warriors found their new GM. Mr. Myers had left. Bob Myers had left the organization, and they were looking at who they were going to replace him with, and they stayed in-house. And Mike Dunleavy Jr. Is going to take over in the GM spot. Now, there's something to be said. The one good thing I do like that the Golden State Warriors did is that they kept it in-house, right? You have this culture, you have this nucleus, you have this thought process, you have, the way you operate. And it may not necessarily run like that if you bring someone from the outside, right? And especially now, this is not like the Wizards where, they're kind of, going through, some transitions or like it will be for Charlotte. They're going to be going through some transitions, or, another team who hasn't had, the greatest success. This is still a team where you're looking at, hey, is our window still open to get another championship, which I think they believe. So bringing in someone that's already in-house is, ideal. They will, carry the torch. It's going to be a big torch though, because there's some challenges that set before the Golden State Warriors. One is the Nuggets, are the champs. They're better. And then two, Sacramento is going to be better too. So that's two teams just right now that, that you have to deal with or go through to remain success. You got this whole relationship that, look, it's still people go to work, people be professionals and everything, but it still lingers there. What happened at the beginning of the season with Draymond and Jordan Poole. Then you got, the young guys. What are the roles, of the young guys? Is any of these guys movable? How much longer do you roll with Steph and Clay and Draymond? And so there's some questions there that needs to be, answered, and some questions that needs to be addressed. So Golden State, they're not out of the, this transition, I think keeps them afloat. I think that keeps them in the mix, but it doesn't, necessarily just say, that high success rate that we had where we were getting to the finals and all that it doesn't conclude to that. They still got some work, but they stayed in house and they got a guy that probably will, continue what Bob Myers was doing there in the first place. So I think that's a good look for the Golden State Warriors. See how long this thing, how long they can keep this window open, and then after that, start making the necessary changes. Because Steph, Clay, Drake, it is what it is. They're getting older. Right? I think all of them are in it. Yes. Clay is 33. Draymond, I think he around there. Steph is, in his 30s and everything. So, things are just changing. It's just natural. So, ride it till the wheels fall off. Ride it till the wheels fall off.
Indeed.
Yes, Lopan. Now we're gonna finish this up with our last topic. We're gonna roll into the NFL and Saquon Barkley, running back for the New York Giants. Now Saquon is in a contract negotiation. I don't want to say a dispute or fighting, arguing, or anything like that, because this is about business, right? This is not about business. This ain't, and the season hasn't started and everything, so they still got plenty of time to get stuff done. But there was a report out there that Saquon may or could entertain sitting out a season. Now, I don't believe Saquon is going to do anything like that. That is not a good look, and I'm pretty sure this is more, negotiation. Just this is the game that's played. And the reason I say that is that sitting out doesn't help him, because the first person I think about doing that is Le'Veon Bell. And it did not help out the situation, right? The other thing is at the position that Saquon plays. Running back, look, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the running backs. Has the position devalued as far as how the league operates in it? Yes, right? They don't value it the same way. The Minnesota Vikings just cut Dalvin Cook, and you still got Kareem Hunt out there and some other veteran running backs that they haven't picked up yet. So you don't want to sit out, and you don't want to have someone else come in and make you expendable. So that's why I don't think that Saquon is really gonna sit this thing out. It is what? June? What is this? June 17th, Lopan?
Indeed.
Did you bring somebody with you, Lopan, or something? Goodness. Yeah, so it is June 17th. So training camp hasn't started, and preseason hasn't started. They still got at least another month and a half, possibly 2 months, to get this deal done. So I'm not worried about it. I don't believe Saquon is going to, hold out or anything or sit out the season, because it's not worth it. It's not gonna help him. To me, the Giants have all the leverage, so it's just trying to get whatever leverage that Saquon or whatever he can get from it. I do believe that they would move on and play other running backs if he sat out, and then they'll just. It's not gonna happen. It's not good. It's not good. Just not good at all. Right? So, Giants fans, don't worry. Saquon will be there. He's a professional. He'll be there. This is just business. This is just business. This is a game of negotiating when it comes to that. And once everything's over, he's going to be so glad to be there. They're going to be so glad to have him. And then we ain't even going to be talking about this when week one kickoff. Right? Right, Lopan?
Indeed.
There you go. I'm glad you got rid of the trio or whatever group that was hanging out here with you. So, all I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. We're not going to do a big L award. And you know why? Reason we're not, because it's a special weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Special weekend. And tomorrow, yeah, I'm going to be that dude. Tomorrow is Father's Day. Yeah. So Father's Day is right around the corner. I just want to say, and Lopan, go ahead, kick the music. See, this is why. This is why never mind. He's not going to ruin my moment. Lopan, kick the music. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend. Let's get there, right? Have a positive weekend. Have whatever it is that you need. Hopefully you can go out and get it weekend, right? But also, have a good Father's Day. To all my fathers out there, to all the men who put in the work, all the men who sacrifice, all the men who sit in the background, all the men, you know, we get forgotten about in the background, you know, they just be like, hey, go pick up them boxes, you know. So all my people that's picking up boxes, carrying bags, luggages, you know, doing all the daddy duty, you know, stuff out there, man. Hey, I salute y'all, man. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And make sure you appreciate your father this Sunday, man. Make sure you don't get him no socks. You better not get him no socks. Don't do that. But, hey, man, you know, whatever it is that he wants. All fathers are different, man. He just may want you to let him sit down in his room and watch TV for about 5 hours. That could be it. Just find out what he wants. Just listen, you know. But I'll holler at y'all later, man. Everybody be good, man. For your man, Jelani JB Bodie, hosting this thing called the Wait a Minute Show. 2 things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all next time. Lopan, let's go.